Is Halloween Horror Nights really coming to Universal's Beijing resort? Hello my dirty little dumplings and welcome back to Brian Abroad. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys all about the new Halloween event that Universal Studios Beijing just revealed today here in China. Now, I've covered the park kind of extensively on this channel. It's just celebrating its 2-year anniversary and I've already made 3 videos about it, and to be honest, because it's so new, not much has really changed since it opened 2 years ago. Last year was the first anniversary of the park around this time, and they did almost nothing for Halloween. There was like some Minion monster or monster Minion merchandise in the Minions land for sale. There was an afternoon tea that you could book at one of the hotels that had some spooky looking treats, and the chocolate emporium had this pumpkin spice milkshake with this little spider decoration on top, which I actually got. It was amazing. It was also like the only pumpkin spice thing I've ever seen in China, and in case you couldn't tell, yeah, I'm one of those pumpkin spice people, but that's it. And to be honest, I was expecting the exact same thing this year, and there's 3 reasons for that. The first reason is that Halloween is just not really a thing here. Horror is not celebrated here in China like it is back home. You're not gonna find Exorcist Believer or Halloween Kills or something like that playing in the movie theaters here. Although I will say that Megan did come out here this past spring, and I had to do a double take when I saw the poster of her standing in the hallway at the movie theater, because there has never been a Western horror movie in the theaters here for as long as I've been here. And we did go see it. I went with my Chinese friend who basically watched the whole movie with his hands in front of his eyes, because horror is not really a thing here, and something that's really not even that scary for us back home is like very, very scary to most Chinese people here. I remember I was teaching a lesson about like unusual objects and like things from the past, and the students had to use grammar to guess like, well, maybe it was used for this or maybe it's that. I showed the students a theremin, and the kids took their guesses, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and then I played the video of this girl playing the theremin, and all the kids were like, oh, it's a ghost, it's a ghost! Like they were freaking out over some woman just standing there playing the theremin. So horror is just, it's not a thing here. The second reason is that in the past 5 years or so, China has made some efforts to keep China more Chinese. Part of that means that a lot of Western holidays are not really publicly recognized, especially from like a government perspective. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, when I first came here like 6 years ago, the school that I worked at, we did Halloween with the kids, we did Thanksgiving, we did Christmas, we did Secret Santa, and the kids would swap gifts with each other. We always had a Christmas party, and then it just so happens that there's this talent show at my school that usually pops up around Christmas time. So all the foreign teachers used to do Christmas songs and Christmas skits with all the kids. Fast forward to 2023, 5 or 6 years later, and we don't talk about Halloween, we don't really celebrate Christmas at all, we don't do Thanksgiving, we just really don't handle Western holidays anymore, because of course the education system here is very closely tied to the government, and they're just trying to keep China more Chinese basically. I don't want anyone to take that out of context and think that like, oh my god, Christmas is illegal! It's not illegal, it's not outlawed. Tons of places decorate, put up trees, put up decorations, have little events going on here and there. Starbucks still has their red cups, so you don't have to call anyone. And even Universal last year put up like a Christmas tree, and they had Christmas carols and fake snow, but like from a government perspective, it's not really recognized. So I wouldn't necessarily expect Universal to do something for Halloween. And along those lines, the third reason is that one of China's biggest holidays just so happens to take place during the first week of October. It's called Guoqingjie, and it's basically like a whole week celebrating China. So it would be kind of offensive and inappropriate for a company to announce an event at that time that celebrates a Western holiday, considering that time is supposed to be used to celebrate China. So in my mind, I figured this year nothing would really be going on, which is fine. But I was wrong, because starting last Friday on September 22nd on an app here called Xiaohongshu, or Little Red Book, which is basically China's Instagram, visitors at Universal Studios were posting all of these new additions that they were finding around the park. Universal had hung up all of these jack-o'-lantern banners on all the light posts, and they light up and look really cool at night. This temporary wall had gone up with some sort of structure behind it, and they they put that sign on it that said hot set filming in progress. And then of course the most notable addition was this giant like skeleton pumpkin vine monster display that they put up right where you enter the park. It was a little confusing because one of the stones that's part of that display says Hallowmas on the back. So I wasn't sure if this was going to be some sort of like weird Christmas Halloween event. I feel like that's like a Disney thing with The Nightmare Before Christmas. But in the next couple days, Universal Studios kept adding more things to the park. There's this Coca-Cola drink tower there, and they wrapped it all with these pumpkin vines. They hung this like giant grinning jack-o'-lantern over the archways where you first walk in. Very similar to the Halloween Horror Nights logo that they hang in the archways at Orlando and Hollywood. And then people started to post these long distance shots over the wall, and you could see the top of this kind of haunted house looking structure. And then Universal themselves put out a post on Xiaohongshu with this outline of this kind of like pumpkin scarecrow type figure, and it just says Ta shi shui, which means who is he? And again, I didn't want to get too excited and then find out that it's like some meet and greet under a haunted gazebo with some pumpkin guy. But it turns out that Universal Studios Beijing this year is actually having a whole Halloween event that includes a scare zone and a haunted farmhouse. It runs from October 7th, which is right after the national holiday ends, so that makes sense, all the way up until November 11th, which is pretty late. And there's 4 different parts. The first part is that the minions will be there in their different Halloween costumes. So one of the minions is dressed up as Frankenstein, there's another one that's Dracula, there's one that's a mummy, and then I think the other one is the Bride of Frankenstein. The second thing is that there's going to be some different Halloween treats, like different cupcakes and little small bites that are shaped like pumpkins and eyeballs and little monsters and things like that. The third thing is that there's going to be some sort of encounter with the pumpkin demon character that they created. And in the announcement for this event, they did reveal the full image of what this pumpkin demon actually looks like. You guys can let me know down in the comments below how you feel about that. And then the last event is a scare zone called Pumpkin Demon's Entourage that leads you to the haunted farmhouse. Sorry, I correct myself. They're calling it the Freaky Farm. So let me just read to you guys what it says on the announcement from today. So Scares at Universal is about to launch. New characters, new experiences. Scares are coming, beware, not for the faint-hearted. Autumn is approaching and the scares are drawing near. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary autumn carnival at Scares at Universal. So it's not like Halloween Horror Nights, it's just Scares at Universal. Join us from October 7th to November 11th for spine-tingling thrills and enchanting festivities. Experience mind-blowing escapades and exhilarating fun. Now, this is something that's gonna require a separate nighttime ticket, just like back home in America. It says that it starts at 200 something RMB, but when you click on the calendar, the cheapest price I could find is 300, and then it goes from 300 RMB to 370 RMB, which is about $41 to $51 with the current exchange rate. During the day, it says to take a stroll on Hollywood, not Hollywood Boulevard, just on Hollywood, I guess, and be amazed by the festive themed decorations. Interact joyfully with your favorite characters at the Scares at Universal special meet and greet. That will be where you can run into all the different minion characters dressed up. Hollywood will be reimagined as a spooky pumpkin farm with pumpkins, leaves, vines, ... I keep telling my students not to do this because it seems like you just like trailed off somewhere and got very, very sidetracked, but those things will be there. Theme decorations can be seen scattered all around. Can't miss Scares, so extend the thrills after dark. Every Thursday to Monday and October 31st. Brace yourself for the thrilling start of Scares at Universal. Get ready to be spellbound by the Pumpkin Demon. Prepare for an immersive nighttime experience like no other at the Scare Zone called Pumpkin Demon's Entourage. As the Pumpkin Demon arrives in the dark, the zombies begin to emerge from either side of the street and roam on Hollywood Boulevard. If you want to capture photos, you'll have to seize the opportunity. And finally, brace yourself for the Freaky Farm. Warning! The Freaky Farm has been infested with Pumpkin Demon's evil. You will make your way through the pumpkin patch and take an adventure with scary characters. Don't get in for the faint of heart. Now, there's a couple differences here from our event and the events back home. Obviously, this is just one scare zone and one haunted house, so it's not going to be like this whole theme park experience where you're walking through 5 different scare zones and 10 different houses. Another thing is that on this press release, it says that you are welcome to wear costumes costumes, there are different rules and guidelines, just like at any other theme park. They don't want you to get confused with a character that works at the park, for example. It's kind of interesting that you can show up to this event in costume because I don't think any other Universal Studios Halloween events allow customers to do that. Something else that's different is that the scare zone and the house are timed entries. So once you're inside the park, you need to go onto the app and reserve a slot for yourself. You can't just show up whenever you want, and I'm assuming they'll check that on the app here before you enter. Now, there also seems to be a completely separate trick-or-treating event that goes on here at the park. It says you can dress up and join the trick-or-treat team, explore the park with a pumpkin bucket, and search for treasures at 12 different locations. It's really interesting. It's like a little bit of Halloween Horror Nights and then almost like a little bit of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party kind of meshed into one exhibit. It sounds really fun. I'm super excited. There's never really been an event like this here in Beijing. I will definitely go to this event. I will take a video. I will show you as much as I can. I don't know if they'll let me film inside the houses, but I'll try. And who knows? Stick around. There might be some other Halloween surprises here on this channel in the next coming days, okay? And yeah, that's just about it. I just wanted to let you guys know that this event is going on and that I'm excited and that I can't wait to go and share it with you guys. If you like this video and you want to keep up to date on things that are going on at Universal Studios here in Beijing, please remember to click that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video here on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.